Good afternoon. As a father of a 2-month-old, I've got a lot of concerns about the future. We've added almost $500 billion of debt since August 2nd when we elevated the debt limit. At that rate, we'll be $20 trillion in debt a year from now. At this point, each family is over $600,000 in debt if they're able to carry their share of interest on that particular loan that is growing at an exponential rate. This is an issue that we don't want to talk about, that we defer, put off to the next Congress. But as our rating falls, as the President begins to talk about not honoring that debt and reneging on it, that poses serious problems. And I think I'm very glad to be in Mendocino because we're all here for a particular reason. Let's make that the second district. You've got space, you've got the ability for a sustainable culture. You're here because you, in some ways, appreciate self-reliance. And those will be very, very important attributes as we go forward and attempt to find out how we're going to be dealing with this very serious situation. One way that comes to my mind, I've spent a good part of the last 20 years underwater. There's enough energy that comes up against this district to power many states, if not most, of western United States. Why is that not being utilized? The oil industry has a stranglehold on this government as well as on our culture, and Congress cannot deal with that. I'm not that naive, but the American people can, and the American people must. We need clean energy. We can have clean energy. Oil industry will not allow clean energy. What are we going to do about that? I'm hoping that the citizens of this county lead the state and the nation and make an effort to allow renewable resources to have the same subsidies that the oil industry currently enjoys while sustaining windfall profits. If we receive that much financial support, we would have alternatives that do not produce CO2, that produce local jobs on a sustainable basis. I'm not talking about building a road every 10 or 20 years. I'm talking about building an industry in the North Coast that really will serve us well for the next 20 to 30 years, create a technology that we can export to the rest of the world because we're in desperate need of giving back something for which we receive, as well as help deal with the fact that other countries are turning to coal and nuclear, and those are not solutions for the planet and us, even though we live here kind of in isolation. We're a part of that larger situation, and we need to be of assistance in figuring that out. Clean energy is an alternative. I'm afraid it's going to be the people of the United States that elect that. Amendments have been passed multiple times in less than a year. It's doable. With the current disapproval rating, I think it's time for the American people to say partisan politics and special interests are two powerful forces that don't allow a kind of routine answer to this solution. Also, Mendocino-Sonoma, very interested in the genome manipulations that private corporations have entitled themselves to. We now have people that are allergic to soybean, and that will be a source of allergy for hundreds of millions of years. It's very hard to reverse genetic damage. And so a Clean Gene Act, I think Congress can handle a Gene Act like clean air, clean water, an area as a microbiologist that I have a tremendous interest in. And I think it really is time that we limit untold damage in the name of short-term profit. In the short term, I mean, we've already developed resistance to Roundup. And so the benefits of that project are over, but the damages really will be around for millions of years. So this is new to me. I'm a very focused person. My daughter flunked her life jacket test, so I became a member of the Underwriter Standards and Technical Panel on Life Jacket Design, developed a new standard, created the only product that passes it. That's the type of person that I am, and there's several topics that really require that type of focus, and I hope that you consider me as we go forward for your support, and I promise that as a group, as a community, we can take this message not only to the U.S., but to the world, and the world really is in need and looking to us for that kind of direction.
Yeah.